Hello, everybody. My name is Justin Blitz. I'm a New York City attorney. I specialize in plaintiff's personal injury and medical malpractice cases. And today I'm going to be speaking for the next hour on introduction to trial skills. Just a couple things that you should know before we get going. I'm going to be speaking from the plaintiff's perspective. I have extreme respect for my brethren on the other side. However, this is primarily what I practice, and so most of the ideas, tips, and strategies that I'm going to be offering everybody today, it's going to be coming from the perspective of the plaintiff side. So I just do want everybody to keep that in mind. A couple other thoughts that I wanted to let you all know before I begin. I practice primarily in the state of New York. This is a course intended for a national audience. However, please be sure to check your local state statutes and ordinances before you implement any of the tips that I'm going to be sharing today, just to make sure that you are obviously run into any problems with any conflicts with any of the local laws. So that's also just another important item that I wanted to bring up. Finally, it's important that I want everybody to realize that the strategies and tips that I'm going to be talking about today really are special for personal injury and wrongful death type cases. In other words, if it's you have an employment discrimination case or a corporate contract case, some of the strategies and tips that we're discussing today really might not be appropriate for those types of cases. So please, again, just keep in mind that this is a course that would be intended and geared for personal injury and wrongful death and medical malpractice type litigation. So, having said all that, what is the most important thing to becoming a good trial lawyer, other than obviously I'm certainly not all born with a innate quick wit and quick ability to be some amazing orator on the spot. I think that the number one skill that one needs to possess is having good organizational skills and being able to think ahead from day one, from the day that the client walks into your office. A good trial lawyer, I mean, listen, we can all know that the majority of our cases do get resolved prior to trial, but I believe that every single case that comes into your office, you should be looking at it as from the trial perspective, from the eventual juror that is going to be sitting there adjudicating and deciding whether what you're trying to sell is going to work or not. So you really need to look at day one, and that means developing a theme for your case, because every case is certainly, I think, different and has its own unique set of facts and circumstances. And if you think of all of these cases, even the simple soft tissue auto case, if you think of them all as being the same, I think that you will run into problems, especially from the trial perspective. The other most important skill, another important skill that you need to become a good trial attorney is you really need to know your client. You have to be able to walk in your client's shoes, so to speak. You cannot tell your client's story most effectively unless you know who that person is.